Hey, my name's Anthony.
My name's Alex.
And we are
The PTA Podcast. What's happening, everybody? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the PTA Podcast. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
What's happening, mate?
What's going on, bro?
We're going to dive straight into this topic.
Yep.
Today's topic is a bit of a different one, but one that most people think about but don't really talk about. When we look at health, most of the time people don't realize how much their health is actually costing them, and it goes beyond the physical, so beyond what our bodies look like,
Beyond
right?
the medical bills.
Yeah, pretty much. So some of the things that I felt when I was at my worst with my health was just like that exhausted feeling all the time, even though I had slept 8 hours, right?
It's an ugly feeling, eh?
Very ugly. It's just very frustrating
Like
because
feeling flat and shit 24/7.
yeah, I don't get why people like to live like that.
But
And unfortunately,
I literally just had that thought in my head. I was like, I don't know how people actually are. I don't know if they're okay. They're obviously not okay to feel like that because no one wants to feel like that. But they don't do anything to change feeling like that.
well, the question is why?
That's the part that gets me.
Why?
Like, why do you want to not change feeling like that, and you're just okay with feeling like that, even though you're not okay feeling like that? You know what I mean?
I think that the question isn't in a way where it's meant to make them go, why the fuck you being okay like that? It's like, what caused you to get to that point? What caused you to get to the point where you've almost like just given up?
Yeah.
Right? Because I'll give you an example. Like when I look at people in their 40s, 50s and 60s and they're just not motivated, they're very deflated, they just don't feel like they have that level of excitement about anything anymore. But when I asked them how they were in their 20s and 30s, they were like full of life, full of energy.
Like a young bull.
But what's happened?
They just said life. And I'm like, what does that mean though?
Yeah, that's literally what happens. Life can just happen. So this is the biggest reason why I live on by something that I say a lot to myself. I don't really say this to many people, but life by design, not life by default. Right? And I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I never really understood it. But you design your own life. You don't just go with the flow and whatever happens, happens. And then you just cop whatever happens.
Yeah.
It's hard though, right? It's very hard because you're literally going against the grain, right? So the life of an entrepreneur is essentially that, life by design, right? And I'm using that as an example because I am an entrepreneur, right? If I was employed, a lot of my life isn't designed by me. A lot of my life is dictated and I just got to follow what my regime is Monday to Friday or whatever my trading hours are.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't take away from the fact that if I want to be the best version of myself, health needs to be priority, right? They got to a point where I didn't recognize who I was looking at in the mirror, right? There was one training session I did, and I did a little post this week about it, where I took a photo of myself after I trained, and I looked at it, and I just hated what I saw, hated, and I said to myself, "That's it. This is the worst I'm going to look. I'm done. I'm done with the pity party. I'm done with." Letting everything around me in terms of circumstances just dictate how I feel and what I do.
Photo could be very powerful, eh?
Well, for me, it was like, it wasn't so much about the photo. It wasn't the photo itself. It was what that represented to me.
100%.
Right? So
I was the same.
what that represented to me was like, not that I had given up, but I was like, that something needs to change.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm at a point now where I'm like, okay, there's another level of change. And it's really exhausting, but I designed this. This didn't just happen to me. So I'm still excited about it as well as anxious about it and nervous about it, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. But some of the things that, we need to really understand is that when people say that they're busy, how long are you going to be busy for and use that as an excuse until you need to actually make some kind of change because your health has taken a really big hit?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, how long does that need to be an excuse for?
And that's why I don't like when people pull the trigger on looking after themselves after something serious has happened. You know what I mean? And they've used, every single, call it excuse for lack of a better word, under the sun. And then something serious occurs and they're like, oh, okay, well, now I need to make a change. And it's like, if you actually sat back, analysed your day, your week, your month, your year, analysed your life, you would have found points where you could have looked after your health better, rather than using these, reasons and excuses to find ways to not look after yourself before your own body pulled the trigger and said, yeah, no, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I truly believe that most people, they fall victim to whatever they allow themselves to kind of consume. Right? What I mean by that is, if you're somebody that knows you need to change, but you have a circle of people around you, or a certain influence of people around you that is very much like not growth minded, and just kind of start setting their ways and stuck and very negative, for example, or very fixed in what they think and how they are, you're going to find it hard to outgrow them. You're going to find it hard to grow within yourself. You're going to find it hard to make change.
Yeah.
Because everything you're around is giving you every reason to not make change. And when you hear the same thing enough times, you just have to believe it. Especially when it comes to not trying.
Definitely.
Or, for lack of a better term, just giving up, right? When it comes to that, I truly believe that when you want to make a change, you need to just go and do it, irrespective of what people say. Because it's only once you get started and you build momentum that you'll be able to enjoy the health benefits that follow, right? Most people look at the gym like it's a place that you go to punish yourself because you don't like how you look. Whereas every single person that will tell you that goes to a gym will tell you it's the exact opposite. It's a place you go to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Because you enjoy the feeling, knowing that you're actually looking after yourself. You enjoy the fact that you're showing yourself what you're capable of, even though it's a challenge, right? You're facing a fear, for example. But most people look at the gym and go, oh, the gym. Oh, I can't be bothered. Like, it's what for, right? And I'm like, well, look at it from this perspective, not from the perspective that you've been kind of taught to look at it from people who don't actually appreciate what a gym can actually do for somebody's quality of life,
man, 100%.
right? And there's more and more and more research that supports the fact that your bones and your muscles need resistance training, not your yoga, not your Pilates, not your running, not your fucking HIIT training. It needs a good weights program because that's the only thing that's going to help build it and preserve it, especially as you get older.
Longevity.
Right? And so for us, it's like longevity is a key thing here, because if you don't understand that, if you don't focus on that, if that isn't in the forefront of your mind when you're exercising, you're going to fall off the bandwagon. You're not going to care. But the beautiful thing about longevity is it doesn't have to be perfect in terms of the approach. Right? The approach can be something that is, for lack of a better term, 80 to 90% consistent. Yeah? And still get you some fantastic progress and still get you to enjoy the process. Right? But also means that you can go and enjoy yourself and have a drink or have something on the plan or whatever it might be.
100%.
It doesn't have to be this perfect, strict thing that we have painted, and unfortunately the fitness industry has let people down with this, that it's painted as if you need to have this perfect application to it all. And that, I believe, that is what turns people off, because they don't want to restrict themselves and not enjoy life, in their opinion, for the goal of looking a certain way.
100%. This is why education is so big as well, because we do a lot of education with the clients that we look after individually, in regards to understanding that flexibility is something that is attainable, right? And having flexibility within your week of training and eating and everything else in between, it's something that is actually encouraged, because you don't want that Nazi approach of, you can only do this and you can't step outside of that, and if you step outside of that, you're going to fail, because then that turns people off. So what do you mean? I've got a wedding on Saturday, like, my cousin's getting married, I want to enjoy it. My cousin only gets married once. You know what I mean? Like, people want to be able to enjoy their life but achieve their goal. And like you said, I think the fitness industry failed a lot of people with getting them to understand that you can achieve the certain result that you want, right? By having a degree of flexibility. I just feel like that there isn't enough education around that. There are a lot of coaches that we follow and that we've learnt off in the past that have really pushed that. For some reason, it doesn't get pushed enough, and I still hear a lot of people, and it's 2026, and I still hear a lot of people and see a lot of people fail with their health and fitness goals because they're trying to be this perfect specimen every single day, and it's like progress over perfection. You know what I mean? Very
true. Well, a lot of the information out there, it's all conflicting as well, so it's very confusing. Right, you got one coach who's got a huge following and huge influence. We'll talk about the fact that it's not about cortisol, and it's not about stress, it's about calories. And they got another coach who's got a huge following and huge influence that will talk about the same thing, the same topic, but complete opposite view. Who do you believe?
Yeah, I know.
They both get results. They both are knowledgeable. They both have big followings. They both have big influence. But who do you believe? You believe which one resonates a bit more with you. Right? But when they got that confused person, that's kind of our niche, both of them resonate. Both of them get results that they want. Who do they follow? Who do they trust? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm a little bit different, right? For me, I don't really look at calories as being I look at calories as being step one, right? Because they dictate a lot of what happens with hormones, not the other way around. But on top of calories, it's like you got to look at stress. Stress dictates everything in the body.
Everything.
Right? So you can be in a calorie deficit, for example, not shift weight, and it's because your body's so stressed out from other mechanisms that you haven't managed.
Yeah.
Right? And therefore, the body's not in a position to actually benefit from that calorie deficit that you're in. And that's a fact. And I've seen it time and time again.
Yep.
This is why when we put people on a reverse diet, and we don't improve anything else, but we just get them to slowly increase their calories, they start losing body fat and they start feeling better. There's less bloating, they have more energy. And it's like, hold on. Is it just calories first and it's all about calories and your cortisol doesn't play a role? Your stress management doesn't play a role? Or is it stress management, then calories, then training, then subs? Like, which one is it, right? I truly believe it's the second one. Manage stress first, will have a better application to your body, so it will benefit and be able to respond better to the calorie plan, for example, that you've got yourself on. Then you worry about your training, then you worry about your step count, then you worry about your supplements. And that, in my opinion, is order of priority.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
100%. I totally agree with that. And I also would add into there using, in terms of managing stress, using parts of those top 5 priorities and using them simultaneously as well.
Well, they have to work simultaneously together, yeah.
And that's what people don't understand also. They think that it's like a step-by-step process, and it is to an extent, but a great way to manage stress, right, is improving sleep quality and quantity. A great way to improve sleep quality and quantity is supplementing on like magnesium glycinate or glycine, right, for example. So it's taking what would be priority 5 as supplementation, but also implementing that into priority number 1 as well. And so without trying to confuse people and whatnot, I think it's a matter of having a system in place that will allow you to really hone in on managing stress as best as possible, and then letting everything work with that as well. Yeah. But it's a system that you have in place first, and it's the constant education that you need to provide people with on why we're doing what we're doing and how it's going to assist them and help them and better their life, and then get them to achieve their goal. Because I feel like a lot of people are given something that sounds all cool and fancy at the start, but then there isn't that ongoing education to then help them along the way, and that's where they end up getting lost and confused. And they'll see a video on Instagram and go, "Oh, that sounds mad. How do you do that?"
Well, I've made the mistake of doing that. I've made the mistake of putting all the effort into the meal plan, giving it to the client. And like, this meal plan used to take me like an hour to put together, right? Because I planned it for about 4 weeks for them before we had the tech that we use now. I put it together for them, and then I give it to them, and they look at me going, "Anthony, I can't follow this." Like, why not? It's great. It's exactly what you need. It's covering your calories, covering your macros. It's too complicated for me. I'm just like, fuck. Okay, all the effort for nothing now. So the ones that I've done are a lot more simple are the ones that people follow, right? Why?
Because it's simple and it's easy to follow, it's sustainable.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and then they get a better result.
And the focus point on the big rocks, which is the stress management, is emphasized, right? So the nutrition guide gives them all the stuff they need to be doing for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And then we focus on spending even more time on improving sleep quality and quantity, like you said before. Some deep breathing exercises, implementing the sauna, right? Getting them to move more in their day around their training, so step count, right? Then we look at building muscle, which helps with fat loss long term. Then we focus on their supplements, right? Yes, using supplementation to help down-regulate at night is really important, but I truly believe that stress management factor will only work when the actual actions are put in place. So when you prep yourself to sleep well, you'll sleep better, right? Some of the most simple things that we can use, people don't use, right? People suffer from insomnia all the time, right? I can't sleep even though I'm taking my mag. I can't sleep even though I'm taking my supplements. What's going on? Your actions is what's wrong. So another really good easy way, and this is a very easy thing for people to do, invest in a pair of blue light blocking glasses.
I was just about to say that.
That is, I don't supplement at all at night anymore. I don't. I just put the glasses on as soon as I get home, and that's all I need to fall asleep and have a good night's sleep and then wake up feeling fresh.
Yeah.
I take my supplements throughout the day that I need to take based on what I'm doing and my protocol. But I used to be the biggest guy on melatonin. I used to be the biggest guy on glycine, inositol, magnesium, glycinate. Now I just take mag throughout the day because I know we need it. But I don't take it at night anymore. I just put the glasses on. And when you have the blue light blocking glasses, in a nutshell, team, when you put those glasses on, you're giving your body signals to produce its natural melatonin into the brain, right? So when that happens, your sleep quality becomes better. Your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep becomes better. One little easy thing to do as well is have carbs at dinner. So I have my carbs at night, which helps serotonin, which calms me down, right? So I'm actually calmer when I go to bed and I sleep better. Wake up feeling great. In bed at 9, or sleep at 9 I should say, I'm in bed at 8:30. I sleep at 9, wake up at 4. 7 hours, boom, let's rock and roll. Right? Some days I feel like I need a little bit more sleep, so I will just prioritize a bit more R&R throughout the day. I might have a nap, I might jump in the sauna for a bit. But most days, 7 hours of sleep, 9 to 4, I'm good to rock and roll. And I'm coming out swinging. I wake up swinging punches, bro. I'm good to go. Right? But I don't take subs anymore. It's the lifestyle. It's the management of my stress. It's that stuff. It's going, okay, if I want to be the best version of myself for tomorrow, it starts from tonight. Yeah. I can't be good for anything or anybody tomorrow if I don't get it starting from tonight, right? So to me, it's like, okay, you can do the fancy things that seem cool and make you feel like you're doing something important. We can do the simple things that actually have a much bigger ROI.
Yeah, man.
Right? So a much bigger return on the investment, but the actual investment is a lot less too, from an effort, time, and monetary perspective. One pair of glasses, which might cost you anywhere between 20 to 30 bucks at Bunnings, which is what I use, as those orange big fuck off ones, those tradie ones. Or you can go and spend 150 bucks on a pair of blue light blocking glasses to do the same thing as the $20 ones at Bunnings.
Yeah, man, and it works.
Right?
It works.
And they work.
100%.
So just put them on.
100%
Shut up. I don't care how stupid you think you look. You're going to sleep better. You're going to wake up feeling better.
You're in bed with the lights off anyway.
But everyone makes fun of me. You wearing those glasses again. I said, I'm going to wake up feeling good. You're going to wake up feeling like rubbish. I go, I'll see you in the morning and we'll see who's laughing. Right? I wear them and I feel good. And it's such a simple thing to do, right? And it makes everything in your day that follows better. How you digest food, how you train, how you recover from it, how you focus.
And then it's a flow-on effect.
Bro, everything's better. Just because I put a pair of glasses on and I started winding down.
I've got mum using
from
them
8:30.
Mum uses them now. She likes to watch her Lebanese shows before she goes to bed. And so she uses them now at night. And, bro, I don't even think she lasts 5 minutes with watching that show anymore because, boom, she's asleep.
Yeah, well, it's better than the blue light.
Whereas without them, she'll watch 2 hours worth of...
Yeah, it hits your eyeballs.
She's like that in bed watching
it stimulates your brain. There's no melatonin production. Then when you start to get tired and you start to lay down, because you're in that pitch black room, then you start producing melatonin. Why, at midnight? It takes a good half an hour. It takes a good hour for that melatonin to hit your brain.
Yeah, man.
So by the time you actually fall asleep, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And then she's up at 6.
And then by the time you actually hit deep sleep as well.
I lied, sorry. Any minute after 10 p.m., your adrenaline spikes up, right? So you don't actually get deep sleep.
There you go.
Right? There's a certain cycle that our body goes through. That's why it's so important, if we can, be asleep before 10 o'clock. So when it hits at 1, 2 in the morning,
you're in that deep sleep.
You've hit that nice peak, you're in that deep sleep. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The next thing I want to cover on this topic, because there's a few points I got here. What about that silent frustration of starting every Monday? Starting again every Monday?
Brother, I haven't felt that in years, mate. I don't start every Monday. I'm just ongoing.
What about our clients? What about people that we look after?
They're starting... No, they're not. They've come to us starting every Monday. We've built...
One of the pain points is that people feel like they keep starting again, or they feel like they're not making progress, right? And so when we look at it from that perspective, I like to ask the question of, why do you feel like that? And they look at me like, well, I just feel like I'm working hard Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday. And then Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, I just lose everything. And I said to them, I always ask them, I go like, just explain to me what that means. What do you mean by lose everything? And when they look at me and they say, oh, look, I had a meal off here, or I had a meal off there, or I had a meal off here. I'm like, okay, that seems like only 3 meals. And they look at me like, yeah, okay, how does 3 meals means like you lost everything over 3 days? Right, but then you got the other extreme. People go, drink on Friday night, They wake up Saturday feeling like crap. They eat to feel better. They drink again on Saturday night, and then Sunday comes and they're like, whoa. They're the ones that start again every Monday, right? Because they've completely ruined all their progress from Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday because they just want to binge on the weekend as a way to escape. Those people actually got to go see a psychologist, in my opinion, because there's a deeper root cause problem that they need to fix way more than just what they're eating on the weekend, right? Those are the people that need to drink, like drink heavy and do it every weekend as a way to escape. You got a problem, bro, or love. Go sort that shit out first, because that's the most important thing for you to do right now. Not worry about what fancy diet you need to start on Monday doing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, man, 100%.
And unfortunately, a lot of those people are parents, and they're passing that shit to their kids. Well, then their kids want to hang out with them on a weekend. They're too tired and hungover to hang out with them, and it fucking does my head in, right? And I know people like that, and it disappoints me to no point's end, because who loses?
The kid.
The kids lose. And then you wonder why the kids rebel. And I don't care. There's certain people that I know that are going to see this. I couldn't give a fuck if they get offended. They need a wake-up call, right? And the problem is, for some reason, in Australia in particular, the drinking culture is getting better, right? The stats are down by far. Like, it's now becoming cool to be healthy. To be healthy, right? So look at it from this perspective. If we are going down this trajectory of AI, tech, health is improving. Do you know the age that somebody's going to somebody dies at right now is the average of 85 or something like that?
Isn't it going to increase it?
Yeah, but by how much though?
Don't tell me we're going to be working when we're fucking 80 years old.
No, not working when we're 80 years old, but the age somebody dies. Potentially, if we keep going the way that we're going,
what, in the 90s then?
No, more. So our kids,
and
then our grandkids, because it could be living up to 100 plus. If we keep going in the trajectory that we're going with tech, AI, and health, which is constantly improving, we could cure a lot of diseases that haven't been cured before. Right? People. Could stop getting Alzheimer's disease altogether, right? Because we're so much healthier, we're lifting weights, and we got a lot of tech that's going to be able to change that. So if we live to 100 plus years old, right? How are we going to be able to support that? No one's going to be wanting to work when they're 85, 90 years old. So what happens then? It's a scary thought, isn't it? This is what I listen to. These are the things I listen to on podcasts when I'm driving on a Saturday night. Right? This is the thought pattern that I have. I was like, okay, what's going to happen if my son, I hope he does, lives to 90 plus, 100 plus years old because he's prioritized health, he doesn't drink, he doesn't eat shit food anymore, he's training hard, looking after himself. Right? But because of technology that will be so readily available, there's things that are being cured or prevented way quicker than they ever have before. Right? What happens now? This is why everything I'm doing is so much more important to me now, because I want to make sure he's at least set up that if he wants to retire at 85 years old because he doesn't want to work anymore, or if he wants to retire at 70 years old, but he's going to live now another 30 to 40 years potentially, where's he going to get his money from?
And this is why you got to look after yourself from now.
Does that make sense? And now I've gone that way.
That's why you got to work backwards. That's why people don't work backwards.
Exactly. So I've gone that way on purpose, Alex. I've gone that way. And I've always wanted to talk about this. I've gone that way to bring it back to this exact topic. Yeah. This is why you need to look after your health. Yeah. Right? If we're trending in a way that's so much better for society, right? We're not going to have these drunk idiots all over the road anymore like we did when we were growing up.
Let's even talk about our generation, right? Our generation, the average age of death now is 85, right? I'm 31. You're 35 this year. Correct? Right? So technically, you still got 50 years of living. That's a fucking long time to live.
But when do I need to retire? When do I want to retire by?
By 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I got 40 years of living without the consistent work.
Right. And so, but my thing is that what people need to really understand is, for example, living to 85. Cool, no worries. How do you want to live though? Do you want to live to 85 depending on others to look after you? Or do you want to live to 85 having a high level of independence because you looked after yourself?
100%.
Right? And that's the part that people, this culture that we live in is very much thinking in the now moment, not thinking in the future. and thinking, okay, this is where I want to be, or this is how I want to be when I'm 85. If I want to be like this when I'm 85, what do I need to do to make sure I can get to that point by 85? And then work backwards from there. People don't think that long ahead.
Yeah, it's changing though.
It is changing.
Right? The reason why it's changing is this. When we were younger, right, we used to club and party and do all that shit. Why?
It was just a thing to do.
With who?
Our friends.
What are the friends doing now in Gen Z? Sleeping early to get up early to go to the
gym.
As friends.
Yeah.
So that it's the same concept, totally different context though. Not, hey, let's get together and party. Hey, let's get together and go for a run on Sunday morning.
Do you feel like...
Hey, let's get together and do this mad session at 6 a.m.
So then my question then would be, and I'm just off topic a little bit here. My question then would be, was it our generation that got the younger generation to think a different way?
Our generation changed it. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. And...
because we kind of saw that transition.
But it wasn't just...
we're in that transition.
We've been in that transition from the telephones with cords to this generation.
Yeah.
Like 19 years ago... Tell me there was going to be a phone like this. That was exactly like my fucking laptop.
ChatGPT would exist.
Let me finish. Tell me there was going to be a phone like this that's literally my computer in my hand. I would have been like, what?
Yeah.
Tell me there's going to be what we have today 19 years ago. Tell me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed you.
And 19 years isn't that long of a time.
So what's going to happen 19 years on?
I don't fucking know. That scares the fuck out of me.
No, it excites me. You know why? Because we have the ability...
Do you reckon flying cars will finally...
To shape it? No, it won't. We have the underground wheel, flying won't. Elon Musk already said it. Underground is better and easier and safer than up.
Yeah, hard.
Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to get at. 19 years on, what's going to happen? Right? You had ChatGPT that revolutionized everything. Now you got Claude that's like another fucking level of ChatGPT. People aren't even talking about ChatGPT anymore. Right? What's going to happen now? You got machines that can pinpoint when there are tumours in somebody and laser it out. They do it in Europe already. Australia's just fucking retarded. We're just slow with everything. We don't give a fuck about our population, right? They're lasering a brain tumor in Europe. Done, finished.
Go home.
Literally burns it off, gone. Bit of treatment, you're good to go. I've seen it. It scares. It's absolutely phenomenal, right? What happens in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20? You know what I'm trying to say? We went from a generation where the phones were attached to the wall or on the desk.
The good old days.
There was a table specifically for your phone.
The good old days.
The home phone, right? And it was attached to a cable.
I miss that.
And you could only... There's no secret conversations. You couldn't go anywhere.
You could pick up the home phone in the other room and just listen in on
that was different, yeah, that. But I'm talking about when it was one phone in the house.
Well,
how far could you go?
I racked up like an $800 phone bill.
Me? That was $1,000. That was bad. And that girl didn't even appreciate the belting I copped.
Oh, bro, I remember that.
But do you get what I'm trying to say? We've seen that era change all the way to this era.
Yeah.
Right? So my son has no fucking idea about what it was like to have a phone that had a cable attached to it that gave you 2 meters of length that you could walk towards.
It's funny.
You could walk from, and that was it.
Do you know what to do with some of the clients that we have that are within that like 9 to 16 year range? I play like a bit of a game with them while they're training, and I do I say to them, all right, what do you know of the past? And they're like, like for example, I'll say like, what songs do you know that maybe we grew up with? And they're like, oh, Michael Jackson. I'm like, all right, do you remember a TV show called Astro Boy? They're like, what's that? I'm like, bro, I feel so old. I'm like, do you remember seeing black and white TV? No. Do you remember seeing a phone where you had to dial by moving that circle thing? They're like, what's that? Do you remember dial-up internet connection? What's that? But then you get a big idea as to the reason why they are the way they are is because that's all they know. Whereas our generation, like you said, has seen the whole transition of, bro, we grew up with black and white TV and then saw the transition to colored TV.
Yeah, but the thing the thing is as well, this generation is growing up in a much faster world.
That's what I mean. I feel like this is why our generation really appreciates what's going on now. And I feel like maybe it's it is our job to help the younger generation understand.
It'll always be our job. Every generation has a job for the one coming next. Every generation, I believe, does. But to kind of further add to your point, this generation growing up now, so the Gen Z, right? They're changing a lot of what's going on in the world in a real good way, right? And the reason why I say that is because, like things like faith is going through the roof, things like health is going through the roof. things like binge drinking is decreasing significantly. And for somebody who's got a child, you got one of the way, Ben's got 2 young boys. That makes me very happy to know that binge drinking and that kind of stuff is decreasing a lot, because I don't want my son around that. I don't want my son around that. I don't want my son doing that. I want him to find people that value health and want to go to a gym and be a part of a healthy community. Because physically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, I want him healthy. Because that's how he's going to be a good person moving forward, even after I die. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
100%.
So how do you ensure that all these things can be able to be achieved by your children or your next generation? It's by what you do. Now, I know we kind of detoured, but now we'll bring it back and make it all kind of mesh together. You need to understand that something as simple as losing muscle after 30, it increases a lot. I always talk about it, people roll their eyes about it. Just because you're not feeling it right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Right? So if you lose enough muscle, what does the body end up having to do? Use your bones. You lose enough bone density and minerals in your bones, what happens then? You open up the door to osteoporosis. You become frail and old, you fall over, you break your hip, you're a burden on your family, you die earlier than you should have.
100%.
That's an accelerated version of what could happen.
That's right, a fun fact in there. They're starting to make note, I shouldn't say make note, they're starting to understand that degenerative arthritis stems from the fact that there's not enough muscle mass in the body, right? And so, obviously, for so long, they've never known where arthritis comes from. Right?
We know.
We know, but like
we do know.
They
right?
say that they don't know.
By Western medicine, yeah, of course.
So, but degenerative arthritis, where, you know, for example, someone's vertebrae in their neck is over time degenerating, right? It actually comes and stems from the fact that there's not enough muscle mass in the body, and as they reach that age of a decline in muscle mass, because that can be a natural occurrence in the body if you're not doing what you need to do
it is a
to maintain
in the body,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's when it actually starts to kick in. Why? Because your body is relying on its skeletal structure
to support
it.
Exactly, and that's on its role.
And exactly right.
The skeletal structure is just a framework, right? If anything, it's there to protect organs.
Yeah,
that's it, right? So, even to further add to your point, Alex, you lose muscle, inflammation increases. When you got that systemic inflammation, what happens? This is what happens to things like bones, right? Arthritis is an autoimmune disease, right? I'm not going to go into detail about that, but look up what an autoimmune disease is and where it comes from and how it starts. All your answers are there. It's all preventable.
100%.
It's all preventable. It just needs daily, consistent action, 100%. Right? And onto that point, action. There's a sense of relief that people have, and I feel like I have, once I finally started to build that consistency, right? Think about a time in your life where you were consistent with your health.
When I wasn't.
Yeah. And then when you started to become more consistent with it, how much of a relief did you feel with just the fact you were finally getting shit back on track for yourself?
100%.
That's all I feel, right? I have my best days, right, when I train, and I'm not in a rush, and I take my time, and I'm on the treadmill, and I'm doing outreach stuff while I'm on the treadmill. I'll make phone calls. I'll do all this random shit while I'm exercising, and I'm like, this is great. I'm killing 2 birds with one stone, but I feel like I'm really productive.
Yeah.
It's a sense of relief of, okay, I've looked after myself. I'm looking after the things I'm trying to grow as well. Great. What else can I do today?
100%.
Do you get what I mean? And when people do that, and when you act and you do stuff from a full cup as opposed to an empty cup, everything just feels a million times better.
Sometimes it's the most simplest things as well. I've said to so many clients, they're like, oh, I'm behind the desk all day. And I'm like, how many phone calls do you make a day? They're like, oh, if I'm not in meetings, I'm on the phone. I said, why don't you just stand up and walk around your office when you're on the phone?
That's what I do.
And honestly, without trying to be a gronk, they're like, bro, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, I get it. Like, it's not something you're going to think of. I totally get that. But it's such a, like, when I say the word simple, like, I mean it in the most stupidest way possible. It is such a simple thing to do.
And it's not even about movement when you're on the phone walking. You know what it does to you as well? It gets you to be more creative because you got blood flow going through.
Exactly right.
Your energy
you got oxygen flowing through your body. You're not getting tired.
Your energy changes. Your tone of voice changes. You're more energetic. How much better are you going to be received on the other end?
100%.
1,000 times better.
Or from literally just walking.
Getting up and moving,
going in a circle in your office.
I like to go outside and walk around the block and I make 5-6 phone calls, but
I literally just go up and down the car park.
Yeah, it helps. I make my best calls when I'm moving around, not when I'm sitting still. And so, like I said before, most people go to the gym for the wrong reason, right? They go to the gym and they look at the gym like it's a place to punish yourself, when really it should be looked at as a place to build yourself up. But on the contrary to what I just said, most people don't even hate training, okay? Most people just don't feel like, most people hate that feeling of not being consistent and continuing to let themselves down.
Yeah.
That's why they just look at training like, fuck it, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? I was there. I'm like, I can't keep this up, man. Like training twice a week. I want to train 3-4 times a week. What can I do to make that a reality? Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
And then I used to get frustrated when I'm like, I didn't train at all last week. There's no point training this week because I'm just going to go backwards anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Or I trained once. I went to train a second time. I can't get it done because, something in my day just sort of throw me a curveball and I'm just like, I'm done, whatever. And I used to get really annoyed about it, really frustrated. Right now, I'm just like, it doesn't matter what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, what's going on. I just need to get that session done because if I don't, I'm not going to be, it's not going to be a good day for me.
I always say to everyone, something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Even if you can't actually physically get to the gym or whatever, just go for a walk. Just something is better than nothing.
Well, mate, thank you very much for your time today. That was a good episode. Appreciate it. The next generation, this Gen Z is going to take the world by force when it comes to health.
100%.
Just watch.
And I just want to add on, like, we spoke heavily about, creating sustainability and people, doing something now to better themselves in the future and whatnot. And what people don't realize is that, the conversation that me and you just had, there were so many different things that we jumped to and spoke about and all this thing. And it all comes back to health and looking after your health. And just like there are 30 different things that we could speak about how health affects our life, right? Someone is actually going to experience that themselves if they look after their health, right? And we spoke about all these different positive things that health can do to someone and this generation and so on and so forth. And it's funny how we can have a conversation about it, about how health can be have such a positive impact on someone. When someone actually experiences looking after their health, it goes from having a conversation about it to actually physically experiencing it. And physically experiencing so many different things that come your way that are so positive that just change your life for the better.
Yeah, 100%.
All
right, Tim, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Now, quickly, just before we finish, thank you for reminding me, Ben. Segment, footy.
Hey.
We forgot to finish with that. So
there are so many injuries.
Don't end the episode just yet, guys. Just keep watching.
There are so many injuries in the NRL now. It's ridiculous.
I'm just so fucking over the Bulldogs. I'm just so over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
I just feel like they need to. Serraldo needs to come out and say, we fucked up by getting rid of Sexton and Reid Money and bringing in Galvin. I just feel like he needs to say it.
I feel like Phil Good's
career is going to be completely ruined.
That's why he's not admitting it.
Because of what he's done to the Bulldogs.
That's why he doesn't want to admit it.
He will always be remembered as a guy that fucked up a perfect team.
Phil Good can't be wrong.
Yes, he can. He's very...
No, that's his... I feel like... I don't know the bloke from
the best thing he needs to do is just fucking retire because he just destroyed a club. He's ruined us. He fucked the culture, okay? He ruined a good playing roster that was running first and not... They weren't going to win the comp per se, but they were definitely going to come close to.
Honestly, bro, can I be...
We weren't going to win it last year.
I'm telling you, you guys would have won it last year.
Anyway.
I'm telling you right now, you guys... You want to know why I say that, right? Look who won. Brisbane, right? The Broncos were one of the most inconsistent teams all year last year. Yet they still won, right? By round 11, you guys had blown everyone out of the water with being the most consistent team that the NRL has seen all year, right? That first 11 rounds last year. And what I mean by consistent, I don't mean by consistent in the sense of, I mean like consistently dominating. Between defense and attack.
You know who he's trying to buy now? You know, we're going to go for? Connor Watson. Apparently, there was a post I saw on the Bulldogs page. Connor Watson's off contract. And Dragons and I know
PNG Chiefs are interested in him.
Yeah, I think maybe Souths as well, maybe. Anyway, and then somebody said, the Bulldogs page put it up with a photo of him, but with the Bulldogs jersey on. It's like, do you think he'd be able to, like, help you guys out? It's like, why are we doing that? Why are we looking elsewhere again when we did that and we ruined a perfectly good team that we had? You guys, if this is what we're going to do, we're never going to have a culture that is the Dogs of War like we did in 2004. Right? On paper, every single player that was with us was one of our juniors. We didn't buy anybody in 2004, even before then. They were our juniors. Look how good they played. Why?
Because they had love for the club.
Exactly. They had this culture that was like, we are going to play for each other and we want to play for the club. and we want to win because this is what we do. We have a culture to win. 2005 had a really bad season. Half our team was injured, and then 2006, 7, 8, 9, we started just buying everybody in a hope to fix things. Right, made the grand final in 2012. Great, we got pumped.
But your culture was great though, regardless.
Made it again 2014. We got pumped again. But the culture was
same
great.
culture, same group of boys. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We had the culture. I didn't care that we lost. It's not about winning and losing. Alex, you got to understand this. Yes, it sucks to lose a game, and it's always ideal to win. But I would be okay if they lost and played well.
If you go down swinging.
Yeah, man. I've always been okay if we've lost and played well.
I think every fan is okay if you lose, but you play
I can't deal with the way we're losing now because we hung our season on Lockie Galvin.
Yeah.
Like the kid, sorry, he's fucking 19. His balls haven't even dropped yet. He looks like he's so out of place in that team.
Yeah.
Right? Everything looks
lost.
Disjointed.
He looks
right?
Everyone
And the
looks
attack
lost.
is disgusting.
Yeah, man.
Right? Absolutely disgusting.
Everyone looks.
And so
lost.
it's going to get to a point where we're going to, like, if we keep going the way we're going, this is why I don't watch the rugby league anymore. Yeah. I can't stand watching the Bulldogs play.
And you know what? When I sit here and I'm, as a fan, got no coaching credentials whatsoever, just as a fan, and I look at every NRL team playing, I think to myself, everyone saw the perfect formula come out of Penrith. And everyone talks about their systems and this and that. But do you know what Penrith have down pat?
Good work ethic. That's it.
Culture.
Yeah, just good work ethic. Yeah.
Those boys that run onto that field, whether they come from another club or whether they're homegrown, will literally die for each other on that field.
Look at what happened to them last year, right? I always talk about this. They went from last to almost make it to being a game away from making a grand final. Did the team change? Just their attitude.
Yeah.
The youngsters that were in there.
Spoken about it, the youngsters.
Yeah, they just got together and they just trained as hard as they could to keep up with the more senior boys in the team. And look what happened.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can I be honest with that? As a Tigers fan, that's what's happening with us now.
Your culture's improved.
The culture,
yeah.
it's literally the culture that Benji has created is now making everyone want to play for each other.
Well, this is why one person can't run a club.
No way.
Right? The Bulldogs made the mistake of putting a crown on Phil Gould's head. Now this guy's fucking thinks he's untouchable and he can make whatever call he wants necessary that he feels is going to serve him or that he feels is going to be okay with the club. What he needs to understand, and he never will get this because he's an arrogant piece of shit. One of the things you never understand is that you can't, there's only so many times you can lie, steal and cheat and get away with it.
Yeah.
Right? And he's been a liar and a cheater for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? He made his career, right? Yes, in the past where he did at Penrith, but more recently he made his career with his success in Origin. Right? You're not a good coach in Origin. You just got to be the guy that puts the coach next to his name because you got the best players in the fucking state.
You're not really
playing for. You don't coach these guys.
Madge Maguire said it perfectly. I don't coach them. I just get them mentally ready. That's all it is.
This is why we look at Laurie Dale and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. Because he doesn't know how to get them mentally ready.
Well, you got the best team in the world, like literally in front of you at your hands, and you can't even get them prepared for a game.
I'm so glad that Boyd Cordner is now the assistant coach, and I hope he takes over as head coach.
He's the only one. He's the only one.
He's the one person that will bring that same passion that Maguire had to the Blues side, and that's why we dominated them in 2024. Yeah. That 1 year, right? But do you want to know what a little birdie's been telling me in terms of the Bulldogs? Going on your point.
What?
One, Ciro Serraldo isn't actually making the decisions.
He's not. He's not.
Good,
he's just the guy that cops the shit at the front.
But because of that, number two, they've lost the dressing room.
Yes, I know.
They've lost, like, there is no confidence. People don't want to be there. People are losing doubt.
Critter's gonna ask for. He's gonna ask for a release. Watch, mark my words. If it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen next year. I know he resigned, but he'll ask for a release if things don't change. Right, and this is sad because he was the guy that brought a lot of good leadership to the team. Right, there was a photo once, I think it was last year. It was Dogs v Parramatta, and I said, look at the difference with the two captains. Mitchell Moses every 5 minutes, crying and telling his team off, yelling at him, and then every 5 minutes was Critter, come on boys, let's go, come on, get in,
yeah,
pats on the back,
boys' confidence,
like
yeah.
He's a natural born leader.
He's a great
He built
leader.
a team around that kind of attitude, and it bleeds into every aspect of the club. Now you brought in a cancer and it's just ruining everything. Like we didn't have a good team on paper. We didn't have the best team on paper last year.
But you were coming first.
Why?
Culture, bro.
Don't forget, Alex, it's a team sport.
Yeah.
There's 13 blokes on the field that got to pull their weight.
Not even that. It's a team of 30. It takes a team of 30 NRL players to be a successful
But
team.
even more specifically, on the field at any given point in time, there's 13 boys that got to pull their weight.
And they want to. You have to get them to want to die for each other.
Exactly. They play out of their skin for each other. Okay. This team you brought in now, you've hung it around one player because you've gone back to the old way of thinking of you can build a team around one player. You can't. No. This kid's no lane Nathan Cleary. And even then, if Nathan Cleary didn't have the support around him, he'd be doing nothing. Yeah. Right? When Luai left, Nathan Cleary got found out. He went up another level.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team came up with him.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the difference.
100%.
You can't do that with the Lachlan Gav. You know why? Because a bloke can't even find his left testicle from his right one.
Well, he's not.
He doesn't know whether he's running or passing.
And
he doesn't know whether he's kicking or tackling. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I actually feel for him in a sense because of the fact that
all these pressures on this kid has got no experience.
He's 20 years old.
And then, but you know what the worst part of the Bulldogs is? We're going to put even more pressure on a 19-year-old boy who hasn't even played first grade yet. When they bring him into halfback, we're going to put that much pressure on this kid to be our knight in shining armor. It's going to ruin his career. Yeah. And Phil Good's going to destroy this kid's confidence because he's going to hammer him. Right? Look at the Manly halfback that they put in.
Joey
right? What's his name? Didn't want to play him. Coach, what's his name?
Seabold?
No.
Oh, Foreign.
Foreign didn't want to play him. He said he's not ready yet.
He's mental and he's getting him ready. But
he's getting him ready. He said, I'm priming him, I'm nurturing him, I'm working with him one-on-one, but he's not ready yet. He brought him in because Fogarty wasn't ready.
And how good did he play?
Injured. He played good.
But then he brought him back out after that because Fogarty's back.
Yes.
Brought him back out. I'm taking the pressure back off you. You had a really good game. Awesome. Now take what you've learned in NRL, go back, New South Wales Cup, implement it. You get your chance again to the point where you will end up becoming and taking over.
That's how you build a long-term
success plan. It's like an onboarding process.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's how you build a long-term success plan. What Phil Good and Serrata are doing, now they're going to be swinging in the dark and hoping that something sticks.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's not what you do with a club. You spent so much time and money and effort into building up again.
100%.
Right? How many times do we have to hear as a Bulldogs fan we're rebuilding? How many fucking times? Yeah, we built. We rebuilt.
You crumbled.
And then we cut our foundation from underneath us. Like, how many times
and look, I'll always say I'm a very, very, very firm believer and advocate for when the Bulldogs are doing well, the NRL does well. And if I don't care what anyone says, whether you like the Bulldogs or you don't like the Bulldogs, if the Bulldogs are doing well, the NRL is doing well, because to this day they are the only team to almost pretty much sell out a core stadium on a weekly basis, whether it was a Thursday or Friday night. No other team can do that on a working week, getting just over 60,000 people to a stadium, which is a core stadium which fits 80,000, and they're pretty much almost selling that place out on a Thursday night or a Friday night. No other team can do that. The NRL is doing well when the Bulldogs are doing well.
We have fanatical fans, we do. And the problem with a fanatical fan is they get like me. We're so happy when they're winning, but we get so angry and disappointed when we're doing stupid shit.
That's the thing, but it's not the losing, it's losing dumb.
It's the stupidity. Exactly.
Yeah, it's losing dumb, not losing going down swinging. At the end of the day, a team's got to win and lose, right?
Right now, our fans, right, we got PTSD. So we get so annoyed like I am right now when we see the boys not playing the way that we know that they can be playing and not playing with any heart, because it's like, again.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you cheat on your girlfriend, you promise you're not going to do it again, then you do it again, and she's like, again? Like, she doesn't forget about it, right? Same thing. We don't forget the shit that this club went through after 2014, that 10-year period when we were rebuilding, right? We had nobody. We were running almost last every season. Had a good season last year. We're like, we're back. This is great. We've got a bit of heart back in our club now, right? We've got some structure. We're playing really well. We don't have big names, but we're playing like a team. That's what built the trust to get all the fans back. Man. Now look what's happening. We're not going to sell out anywhere near a core stadium anymore because the players don't even want to be there.
Well, look at the game against Cowboys on Thursday night. There was barely anyone there.
It was a joke, but we were a joke. I didn't even watch the game. I did not even watch the game, Alex.
Yeah.
Right, what does that tell you? I used to love every game. I used to be at every game. I was part of the kennel. Right, I used to be right in the thick of it. Like, I was right next to that bloke that dresses up as Braveheart.
Yeah.
I used to be right next to him. Now I can't even stand watching him on TV. See the difference? Yeah. Because look at these guys. A bunch of professional athletes couldn't even care about playing anymore. Why would I waste my time watching that?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you get what I mean? Anyway, that's our disappointment for the round. Alex's team lost by 50 points as well, just FYI.
Hey. Every team has a bad day, but we're still in 5th place, and people know that we are actually decent this year.
Yeah, you guys are about 50 points. Wow.
It is what it is. It happens.
Tips for the weekend?
Oh, who's even playing?
I'm going to put it up. Quick fire tips. Alrighty. We got
We're round 10? Yeah.
We are round 10. Thursday night, we have the Dolphins and the Bulldogs.
Dolphins by 30.
Yeah. Roosters, Roosters, sorry.
Yeah, Roosters.
Cowboys, Eels. I'm going to go Cowboys.
Me too.
Knights and Dragons. I'm going to go Knights.
At Win Stadium? Nah, still Knights.
Hudom Dragons, man.
No, not Hudom Dragons. Bad luck. Rabbitohs
Rabbitohs, Sharks. I'm going to go Rabbits.
I'm going to go Sharks. They come off a good win, bro.
I'm going to go Rabbits. Manly, Broncos. This is going to be a good game.
I think Manly will win this game.
I reckon Broncos got it.
No, I think Manly's got it.
Storm, Tigers. I'm gonna back my boys. They always back my boys.
I'm gonna go Storm. They're just due for one, and it's gonna come soon, mate.
I'm gonna go Tigers because we need to make sure that we defend that loss and not embarrass ourselves. So
Look, I think there's only so many times Melbourne can lose.
We're gonna make it 8. They can win the next one.
I think Melbourne will win this one.
Raiders, Panthers. I'm gonna go Panthers.
Yeah, me too. I think Raiders they're good, but they're still inconsistent, man.
Who?
The Raiders are just not consistent yet.
Panthers over Raiders any day of the week.
Yeah, Raiders are good, but I just think Panthers are gonna get them.
And Warriors against the bye. I'm gonna go bye.
Bye, 100%.
All right. Let's see how many. I actually want to see how many we get right.
I reckon we're the same anyway. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank
like I said before, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify.